Women of Reddit in their 40s and 50s. What's the biggest suggestion you would give to women dating in their 20s?
Never settle. Settling is probably one of the biggest mistakes people make. Emo. It drains you mentally and physically.
If you have to ask, should I break up, stay, whatever, you already know the answer.
Whatever your gut is telling you now, you will wish you had listened to it.
You can't fix him, no matter what he tells you. He's choosing to be that way.
Your partner will treat you the way you allow them to treat you.
Seconded. The effects of a breakup are fleeting next to the consequences of a long, mediocre relationship.
Before you even start a relationship, find out their future expectations. If they don't match up with yours, walk away.
1. Do not doubt your initial gut instincts. Do not convince yourself his good outweighs his bad if his bad is toxic. Trust and believe, chances are he or she isn't ever gonna change his ways. 2. Know your own worth and self-love is crucial. If he or she, in any way, lower either of those things, let them remove the after the numbers as instructed.
Yes, say get into fights. If you aren't happy, make it clear and deal with the consequences, even if the consequence is the end of the relationship. Think seriously about your partner's position and needs, definitely, but also measure how much you are putting in, what you are getting back, and whether you are happy, not fine, but happy, with the difference.
Don't rush to settle down. Live your life. Travel, make friends, enjoy new experiences. Enjoy time on your own. Sure, you can travel with kids, but what if life has other plans once you have them? The one thing I wish I'd done. If your gut doesn't feel right about him, leave. Your gut is never wrong. Don't listen to the people telling you to grab him if your gut isn't feeling it. They aren't the ones that have to live with him.
Renovations of a home or of a damaged human is best left to the is too much for when calm what you are willing to do and don't amend in the moment. Always have a girlfriend with you and never accept an open drink.
Make yourself happy and never depend on a man for anything. Take care of yourself, never settle.
Do not ever, under any circumstances, believe that you will never be able to meet someone who can treat you better than whatever dudes you've been crying over. Trust me, you will. Get tested regularly for STIs if you're sexually active. Do not ever expect any relationship to be picture perfect. Work is always involved. There just won't be as much of it with the right person. You do not have to live up to anyone else's expectations. Accept your own. Pressure from others is super dumb. You don't owe your parents grandchildren, nor do you owe your future spouse your purity, or whatever. Looks fade eventually. Find a partner that you love for their personality and values. Make sure you're physically attracted to them as well, but just don't make it all about that. It's totally okay to be single. It really is.
You need to figure out exactly what you want in a relationship before you can find someone able to provide that. Also, my husband told me early on that most men aren't trying to hurt you. They want to please you but are often idiots about how to do so. Before getting angry at him for not meeting your needs or expectations, make sure you have explicitly told him that these are things you want. Even if we'd like them to, men can't read our minds. Give him the tools for success.
Once a cheater, not always a cheater. But once a cheater, about 98% will cheat again, and it's probably best to leave.
Do not listen to any of these relationship gurus on social media.
Set a simple boundary and see what they do about it. If they ignore it or make a big deal about it, then move on. Don't mix money. Keep your bills separate. My ex removed me as an account holder on my phone and had it disconnected despite the court order and refused to pay the gas bill for his house when I didn't live there. Make decisions based on your relationship. Need to move to a different city for a job? Do it. Need to travel and he is a homebody? Go on your own or with a friend. Live your life.
You get one life. Chase all of your dreams. Live the life you want and don't take any off of anyone. And quit falling asleep with your makeup on. Wash your face every night and moisturize it.
This is number one advice. For safety as well, listen to your gut and don't silence your intuition. It may save your life. For me, I always know when some situation is wrong when my stomach gets upset.
Don't settle. Age matters. Him having no friends is a red flag. If your friends and family aren't keen, pay attention.
Yes, exactly. Know what you will not tolerate, and never, ever sell yourself short. I'm not talking about superficial things like looks or finances. I mean, who are they? Are they racist? Are you sure? Do they punch walls when angry?
It only gets worse from there. It's a precursor to abuse, so do not put up with it. Make sure your values align and don't settle on anything you think is important. There is always another guy waiting. This is assuming you're dating men. I have no advice for dating women because I was never very good at it. I'm F49.
He likely won't change, so you need to be okay with him exactly as he is.
Listen to your friends. If they don't like him, there is usually a good reason. Also, if you ever have to say, he's not always like this or he's just having a bad night, if you have to make excuses, then that's a red flag. I'm actually making a book of red flags for my daughter to take to college.
Think really hard about compatibility, and common goals and values. And if you don't have those things, along with open and honest communication, your relationship will have an expiry date.
Use birth control. Don't treat someone as a priority if they treat you like an option.
1. Never under any circumstances put yourself in a situation where you are dependent on someone. Take your time and be more concerned about whether you like them than if they like any sign of abuse or addiction. Run.
I think this is a great answer. When you're already looking for a way out, you're just waiting for the moment. Fights and disagreements are healthy. You can't expect to find a mirror version of yourself. I do think if you're allowing certain issues to go by without addressing it, it's setting a precedent for it to happen again and again without change.
A dead end one.
Greater than you do not have to live up to anyone else's expectations except your own. Pressure from others is super dumb. You don't owe your parents grandchildren, nor do you owe your future spouse your purity or love. This. Get out and be the best version of you for you first.
Yes, if your gut is saying they're not the right person, despite being nice and appealing, they're not. Don't try to force things save you and then the time, energy and frustration.
Do not marry or have kids until living solely with your partner for 2 years minimum. There is a lot you will learn about them in that time, and it may not be what you like.
Keep your friends close. Don't disappear when you get into a relationship. Do the work to maintain those ties. Keep up with your family obligations. If the prospective partner doesn't like the things that make you you, they're not the one. Don't try to change your fundamental self for anyone. And if they don't read books, don't. John Waters.
Is abundant and of low value.
Sunscreen with high SPF on face, neck and hands every day.
Look at the way a man treats women he has no interest in. Misogynists will reveal themselves very early on if you pay attention to this. They may manipulate you into thinking they're great, but they can't seem to resist any opportunity to treat women they don't find fuckable, their relatives, like they have no value.
Don't waste time with someone who doesn't make you feel safe, happy and loved. These should be minimum. Sure, you have compatible views on birth control. It's a post-Roe world. If you're not in the position to make a choice or travel somewhere to choose, then don't sleep with someone you don't want to be tethered to for the rest of your life.
Be a fully formed adult on your own before getting hitched. Live alone for a time, become financially independent. Do not go straight from your parents to your husband, even if you marry your college boyfriend.
Once is too much for violence. Wish I had seen this 10 years ago. Yes, yes, and yes.
This, good enough, doesn't stay good enough. It's worth waiting for the right person.
A relationship that ends isn't necessarily a bad relationship. It's okay to enjoy time with someone and then move on because life carries each of you in different directions.
Please, if you have children, do not move this man into your home after dating for a few months.
Don't be afraid to date men shorter than you. There are a lot of sweet short kings out there.
If you're thinking about getting serious with a guy or having kids with him, ask yourself this question: if my kid turned out exactly like this dude, would I be proud of my kid? 'Cause chances are, that's you'll never take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from.
Called me out with the second half.
Agreed. Think about how hard it is to change yourself and you'll realize how little hope there is to try to change others. Yup, you need to have the same values, and want the same things at the same time out of life. Can't be with someone who wants kids in 15 years if you want them now, etc.
A partner should add and enhance your life. Having to constantly teach or mother a grown partner gets old and will cause resentment, as it is usually an indicator that they likely have unhealed mother-father wounds. Don't let loneliness or societal timelines dictate settling. A relationship shouldn't feel like hard work, and especially not in the beginning stages. Don't ignore red flags. Learn how to make yourself happy and how to be happy alone. A partner's family and friends absolutely matter. And if you don't get along with them or see some issues before marriage, those issues will compound and become so much worse with more at stake later on.